we want to like enlarge the panel actually and go to someone who is an expert when it comes to technology and the data. He is already waiting over there, data scientist and technical consultant, and he is providing solutions for media technology and AI applications. Please give it up for Tobias Wursthorn.
So. Hi there.
Hey,
Hi
Tobias,
there.
good to have you with us. And yeah, we already have the first slide, but
it's somewhere in between, but we can start over again, so no problem. Yeah.
But first of all, we were standing pretty close over there and watching the presentation of Christopher,
Yes.
and I could see that you were kind of amazed and very emotionalized by seeing those presentations. So how is your connection? How do you rate his work?
I don't want to rate. I can say I'm a totally fan of his work. Unfortunately, I haven't made it there, but I've seen all the videos and follow the work. So, because my job is most of the time that I work between the art and the technology. So I work with different artists, and this is my take. And yeah, I love it. I like it. And from technological perspective, it's great to see, and especially when it comes to rooms with a large scale. So we made several installations at Garzomir Oberhausen, and I remember acoustical simulation for big-scale rooms is really a hassle, to be honest. But when you do it with a simulation, you can really do amazing things with that. Yes. So.
All right. So we are kind of dived into this panel, AI for events, efficiency, creativity, and the question of implementation. So it's obvious that AI is discussed very frequently. We heard that in the opening keynotes, and it is very, very common right now, and we want to kind of get deeper into the implementation. We want to talk about possibilities, but also challenges. And since you brought those slides, I hand this one over to you. So let's talk about what is possible with AI from your perspective, from your experience right now.
Okay, that's a question that is almost impossible to answer, to be honest. What is possible right now is, we have everything from the current research that we can do a lot of things that are not implemented yet. So the take is very difficult to say. What's happening in the last 2 to 3 years is that the research is starting to accelerate. So the things that were in the papers and the scientific research in the last 2 years are now starting to get implemented. But what's also happening is that most of the implementations I see out there are just kind of soft or starting, and it's not very implemented, especially in event technology yet. So from my perspective, we are just starting the curve. So, and the typical take is people overestimate what happens in 1 year and totally underestimate what happens in 10 years. So we've seen this with mobile computing when the iPhone came out in 2007. So everybody says, okay, everything will be mobile computing in 2008. No, that wasn't the case. But if we have a look at 2017, 10 years later, it was. And it was in a manner that nobody expected. So, and all the platforms changed in a way that nobody expected. So, and I kind of see a similar take to what's going on with AI. So that's the thing. And in the end, this is my start slide because I love what Mario Klingemann is doing. And in the end, we are all talking about stochastic parrots. So in the end, it's all pattern recognition. But yeah, when you kind of compare what is pattern recognition, what we are doing, we are not that far away from that. So, but for sure, what's happening with the technology is way more less complicated than what we are doing as a human being. So that's just to say. Yeah.
And we've got you with us also to understand how it is actually working.
Yeah.
So please talk us through this part.
Yeah. I don't want to give an explanation. I just want to say what is out there on Variety, because it's way more too complicated to say how it's working. This is a different topic and nothing for today. But what is the thing is that most of the people, when they are thinking about AI, they see the Stable Diffusion or the mid-journey images, then they are great tools, or they thinking about ChatGPT. But the take is, when you have a look, and that's a screenshot from yesterday, of Hugging Face is one of the most community pages where you can run AI models, or you can check them, or you can upload them. All the open source large language models are uploaded. And what you can see with the small fields is the field of applications that you have. You have text to image, you have image to text, you have a lot of different things that are not in the media, but there are models for that. And by yesterday, we are close to 500,000 models that are just only uploaded on Hugging Face. So, and Hugging Face is for sure one of the most popular ones, but it's not the only one. And so to say, it's very separated. So, and to make a clear take, only in German you say, bloß weil du einen Hammer in der Hand hast, ist nicht jedes Problem ein Nagel. Sorry, that's not good to translate. Because there are solutions that only can be done with AI, it's not every time a good idea to do it with AI. So just to make the things clear, but yeah. And what's also the thing is that, yeah, there are a lot of doom and gloom out there, and there's some utopia out there. But to be honest, what we see is typically, most of the times we are in the middle. And the chance of a doom is there, but the chance of doom is very, very rare. And the chance that we are living in a techno-optimistical super space communism future is also, sadly, very low. So let's get more to what is possible and what we can estimate. So that's the take. Yeah.
All right. So seeing utopia on the one side and doom on the other side. I just listened to some podcasts with those robots, for example, and so the state of the art is actually they have trouble even walking. Is that a good example?
That's still there. This is kind of the paradox that you say things that are easy for us are complicated to automate or to be done by engineering stuff. So when you have repetitive things like you do with robot arms, they are totally over the precision that a human can do. But my son could do the dishwasher when he was young. Yeah. So I now tell a robot from Tesla or whatever, doesn't matter, to say, okay, do the dishwasher and do something that is not that he's not seen before. No? So this is kind of the paradox that we are facing. But often this is described as a problem. I don't see this as a problem because it's more the idea to say, okay, what expert can do which part? That's the more better way to think about, to say there are expert models, so let's do the expert jobs. And the aiming for general intelligence is something everybody is, they're funding money with that, like OpenAI is doing, and that's okay. But from my perspective, that's not the top goal, because bringing all the expert levels and all the assistance systems to another level brings us way more forward than having a completely general intelligence. Not to say that that's not something, but time estimations are about 10 years, 20 years. It's like the joke with nuclear fusion. It's always 20 years ahead. And we will see like like it will be with general intelligence from AI. Maybe it will come closer than we think, but it will not cause my work, or I don't think your work, because what is affecting are the tools that are available and that you can work with, and that it gives you inspiration.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And what you are always saying is you have to decide what you use and what effect you want to achieve. Is that a valid
totally.
point?
Yeah, I'm not an early adopter also. I'm always watching these things and then try to make something out of it. Only because there's AI, it doesn't mean it gives you anything by per se. You have to know what you want to do with it and which direction you want to go and what tool you want to use for what.
Yeah.
So it's all fascinating to me, but I'm very like selective why and when I use the tool. And also the danger is, you know, like it's a trend. You know, like I don't know. There was a moment when all the generative AI pictures were blown up stuff, blown up the building, blow up everything. Yeah, okay, and then it goes around. So if you're in that moment into that, and that doesn't last. I'm trying to do things that become kind of a modern classic or something. When I look at stuff I created 20 years ago, if I still like it today, it's kind of a classic, and that's what I'm more aiming at. Make something lasting by using the contemporary technology instead of like doing something contemporary just because the technology is there.
Yeah, good and valid point. So Tobias, let's focus on AI for events. So what can be the effect when using AI, for example, for like preparation or when analyzing after an event? Maybe talk us through this point.
The biggest point you made to start with is all the content. So image is there and is good. Music is starting to get better. Video is on the forefront. What is also starting is the 3D worlds. So to generate them with AI. But this is all the more the content side, and the effects for our daily doing is a bit pessimistic. We need a lot of training, to be honest, to train the people, to enable the people that I can handle with them. And so also I will have this in the slides, and I can do them. The way we interact and the way we summarize information will change. So that's a good point, yeah. And the point when I walk here through the corridor, for sure, every automation paradigm shift, and we will have one paradigm shift, will cause different kind of work. So, and that's something I'm not happy to see, because I've worked behind the console. That's where I started to say, okay, how will this change in the upcoming years? So, but I'm more on the positive side to say, okay, things are changing all the time. Huh? So, just to say, yeah. I can do just a short wrap up of different things, and I left out the content part. So what we can see as field of applications is something this is also done at the OMR. If you they measured, they tracked the audience, and XP AI are the sensors, and they totally with privacy and data security, no personalization. They mentioned all the flows and how the people behave to see kind of are they happy, how they are reacting, and all the stuff. And that's something that is there right now, and this will make, for my opinion, events better because you have the data. But all I say, I'm a data scientist. I like to grab data. So, but I also will respect the data security part. And this is a work from 2017. So this is what it leads to say, okay, you can do with the data from former events, crowd simulations for future events. And this will make things more secure. this will also make it better to where should be the food corner, what is a good, also what is happening.
How many food corners should be there?
And it's also affecting how expensive one booth is, to be honest. So because you know where it is most frequent. So, but that's the thing. And another thing is, so I'm a big fan of Touch Designer, is all the little AI tools that are already out there, like MediaPipe, and I totally love MediaPipe as well, enabling us to do different kinds of interactivity. So, and that's something totally welcome. I'm respecting all the tracking suits because they're way more precise, but there's not also always the time to and the money to work with motion tracking suits. So, and when you do just kind of a easy interactivity, you can use tools like MediaPipe. Or this is just a placeholder picture. When you see what's happening with the papers that are out there, the upcoming research that will be implemented, then I think an auto mixer for audio is totally feasible.
It's already, mastering, for example.
It's starting, amazing. Totally, yeah, and it will be getting better.
Yep.
So because not because the Kubernetes algorithms for the desks are already there, but the bigger part is how to analyze what's on audio is in the room and how to interpret it, that to say what is a good sound. And so, but that's something we will see, especially for not to see in the scale like this, but for smaller events. So, and also it's starting with things like CapCut for the automated cutting. So, and that's something that is also feasible for doing these live events.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, not to replace all the lovely persons back in and so back on the stage, but for smaller events, this will be feasible. And another thing is, and this is totally helpful for my opinion, we can do a kind of a real-time translation and do and point it. This will be totally fine to have that, or also doing a direct video summation with to bring it on social media or whatever, or to give it with the audience to say, okay, nobody wants to hear us talking in a summarization for 1 hour, but 5 minutes takes, and when you have it, and this is something AI can do right now.
So did you start something for this panel? We get a 5-minute summary? No.
No, not yet. But this is what I said. The technology is there to do it right now. So, also, this is from Panasonic. They are starting to do the green screen things. They showed it at ESA this year. And that's different from what we all know from Zoom or from Teams. And it's really working good and making things possible without needing a green screen. So, and they have it right now in their production suite. So for sure, I need to make this because it's a robot event, yeah. And I know they were teleoperated, yeah. But yeah, the cat bot, the Bella bot on the right side isn't teleoperated. It's really working. So, and more kind of the boring stuff, so to say, but totally relevant, is predictive maintenance. So, if we are starting collect all data that is there in all the logistic systems, we can do what every other industrial area is doing, kind of more predictive maintenance, to say, okay, trust, just as a placeholder picture, trusting to say, okay, when we do expect that there is a failure, and can we sort out before the failure is there. So, and this will also, because the barrier is getting lower, this will also come to event technology. And knowledge, because we are facing a more complex world with a lot of knowledge barrier, because of the AI tools with the RAG, the retrieval augmented systems, we can throw in 3 PDFs and ask direct questions, and that's way more faster than doing it with yeah, just searching through the manual, and this will enable a lot of more people to have the knowledge at hand when they need it. And popular implementation, yeah, everybody knows it. It's Notebook LM. You can also do from your manual, from the LED wall, 8-minute podcast if you want to.
Yeah, I did it for my catalog from Kinetic Lights.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's amazing. I love it. So to say having a walk with a dog and hearing an 8-minute podcast about something that is not podcastable, but it works and gives you the relevant information. And it's also working to throw your PDFs into and just asking questions with a text interface, and it's an easier way to handle the knowledge. And that's out there, and it's free for the moment. Another thing is where it's already implemented are the pre-visualization. As we can see in Vectorworks with the AI visualizer and the SketchUp render, where you just throw in the rough sketch, not with all the materials in it, and get a kind of more photorealistic. But as you can see on the lower end, it's not working that good right now. But this all working with the control net implementations of the diffusion models, and this will get better, to be honest. So also you can do in advance virtual tours from events if the customer wants that. And with things like Twinmotion, they are working to say enhance the already good-looking images with a kind of a diffusion process to make it more realistic looking. And one thing that's there is the HN avatars. And the newest implementation just 1 week ago is you can throw in your text and you will have a speaking avatar that's out there and known. Now they have the interactive avatars. So you can have somebody, like Zoom is also starting with it, you have an interactive avatar in your video conference. So I don't know if I like it, if I have a kind of virtual avatar and say, hey, virtual Toby, I give the real Toby afterwards a summarization. We will see, but that's out there. Huh? So, and this is a kind of a starting point, and people will implement and people will use. So, and for sure, with a prototype of the Meta Orion, we will see things that not yet, but maybe can solve the typical we are on a fair problem, and you see, okay, I recognize this face, but what was the name? But we have all the lovely badges, I know, but with AR is getting more real now that Meta is really focusing on that. So, yes. And big take. Sorry, I don't have a picture for the LEaT 24, but yeah.
Next year
We'll do it. Companion apps. So they are already there and they're working. But if you can say, you can do your tour planning, you can do your next point navigation, you can do the real-time translation if you want to. You can do your agenda creation and say, okay, what will be a good idea, what I do one by one. And the technique for this is out there, and I think it will come. So yes, and for sure, I need to say this because AI is a totally energy consumption intensive thing, but it can also help to optimize energy consumption. But to be critical with energy consumption and all the water is needed to run all these models is totally right, because what we are seeing right now is that we have big companies that are maybe kind of want to achieve all the same and bloating out their energy and chip usage like crazy, starting with own nuclear reactors, and so that's totally crazy what's happening and what will happen in the next 5 years. So, yes, okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much for talking us through. Wow, that's a lot of inputs. And I think we realized that no matter what you are doing in events, there is a chance, there are possibilities to integrate AI and to take like your profit out of it. So how do you look at all those possibilities, Christopher?
I mean, it's a bit overwhelming, and then which path to go, like which tool to use.
Yeah.
I'm using already, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 different tools. Also, of course, the standards. All my text, I always write them with ChatGPT, plus I use DeepL on top and so on. So it's amazing. But yeah, there's so many things that will come, and then you need to implement them again, you know. Like, for example, the AI tool I look most forward is bookkeeping. You know, like all that is such a big apparatus that you have running when you have even a company of my size with 65 people.
Yeah.
Bookkeeping is such a huge chunk of it, and it's not my world. I don't understand it. So if there's AI coming up that does that automatically and so on, this will be also an enormous help, no matter which kind of business you are running. So
Yeah.
it goes in all directions for me, from creation to the organization to bookkeeping. And it will come, and you have to adapt. So the older you get, the more reluctant you are to that. But like what I showed in the beginning, that's why I'm showing my desktop. None of it that I learned 20 years ago is still used today, apart from general principles and things like that. So this is also what will come with AI, that everything we know now, we have to kind of throw it overboard, and in 10 years from now, it will be completely different. But I also think that it will be slow enough to be able to adapt, but you have to be willing to do it. It will come, and it is coming. It's already there.
And it's also a question, obviously, of mindset. So are you willing to adapt? Are you willing to get an idea of what's out in the market and then decide what you're going to use and what you're going to apply? At this stage of this panel, I have to refer to Dorian, who is standing on this slide. So he was obviously planned to be with us, unfortunately, and he told us we can be like very clear on that point. He had an accident, so he needs to have some some analysis and see the doctor, so he can't be with us here, but we wish all the best to Dorian. That was something I had to point out at this stage, because we had like this talk in advance, and he was with us, the companion core developer. Maybe he will be at LEATCon tomorrow, so we will see. Christopher, you had this keynote, this presentation, very creative, very inspiring. So maybe some people in the audience just came in later. So please share with us, what are you using for your work when it comes to AI?
Yeah, like I said before, I started to create my own music. So this is the biggest field where I'm currently applying it, and I'm waiting for the advancements and the developments, and they come in by the month. At the beginning of the creation of the music for my show in March, none of the tools was really very helpful. We used a couple of tools to create MIDI notes and stuff like that. And then while we were in the process, which took 1 year, the developments were so great that we could really use parts of it that we created in those environments and already implemented. And for the next piece I'm doing, I'm very sure the tools will be so advanced that I can create the biggest chunk of the whole piece, probably using AI tools. And this is the speed these things are advancing. And the same, when I saw the pictures becoming better and so on, I was like, of course, next thing is video and real time. But I thought it's like 5 years ahead, and now we are like, not even, I don't know, 1.5 years in, and it's already very convincing. And there's another year or two, it will be flawless, and I myself can create a Hollywood movie. You have to let that sink in. I always said, if I could export what I'm dreaming at night directly into a movie, I would be a star. And I never thought this time would come. But, I mean, it's almost there. Like, I still need the link, though, for directly to the dream. But, like, all your fantasies, you can create your own movie. You can make that happen within the next year. And this is an enormous equalization again for the tools. I could create a Hollywood movie before I needed a Hollywood budget. But in 2-3 years, I will be able to do that on my home computer. And this will make a really big open opportunities again for everybody, like music creation did. You know, in the past you had to book an expensive studio and a producer, and only corporations could do that. Now I can produce in my bathtub if I want a super high-end track that will be played in clubs all around the world, and that same possibilities will come for other areas. Even also 3D, what you mentioned, that's the next thing I'm interested in. Not only have a picture of something or a representation, but have the actual 3D models generated by just text prompting or giving a picture and say like, build me this thing in 3D. And this will level out the I don't know in English, die Hürde, the step you have to take to get into this kind of level of creation will come down.
Barriers like...
Yeah, and it will be equal again for everyone. Of course, corporations always find their way in the end how to limit that again. But, and we shouldn't forget, most of these high-level AI tools you have to pay for, and someone might own the IP rights in your creation and in your... So they will find a handle on it, but I think we're in a nice kind of wild style time at the moment where everything is possible, and I'm really excited about it.
And what are we saying to people like sound engineers, people that run a production studio for music, and that now are getting afraid of what's happening with like my passion and with my, with my life?
Yeah, that's a difficult take because I have this for myself too. So from Bay Area and San Francisco, there's this claim to say people, AI will not replace your job, but people with AI will replace your job. So, and that's not friendly, totally not friendly, but there is a point to that. And the first time was really a kind of a personal, emotional, tackled, to be honest, with, like with the Suno and then the latest audio generations, when they kicked out the song with the harmonic voices, and they were good. So, and they were set, and because I have a musical background, they were set in a way to say, okay, that's not a kind of background music anymore, this is good. And I can extract it with stamps with all the different audio, to separate it and work further with that. And yeah, it's kind of frightening on the to be honest. But on the other hand, I think there will be enough to do for us. Things will changing, but there will be enough to do, because when we have a look in the past, for sure every automation shift, and in the end AI is nothing else than an automation shift, caused a lot of structural change, and so we will facing structural change. And I'm totally interested in this individual blockbuster movie, but there's one additional take, the interest in hyper individualized content. I think that there is the need for that, and there will be the market for that. But there's also the thing to say, we all love to talk about movies we've seen together. And so the combining element of seeing movies together, have a look on concerts or exhibitions and stuff like that, will not go away, from my perspective. Yeah? So everyone who's doing future predictions is most of the time wrong. So that's the claim. But I think there will be always the place for the kind of the experience we share together, and we can all reference to say, have you seen the latest movie? Do you went to the concert or stuff like that? And that gives a kind of the freedom to say, okay, this will not go away. So the need for the event area, the event technology will be there totally from a...
And what we are all obviously, or I think, we are looking for getting emotionally touched at events. So getting inspired.
Yes.
And if I understand you correctly, AI can help us to make events even more emotionalized, because yeah, a movie is in a better quality. You have like better music that is played, and it's all combined, brings a better experience.
It's all like always. It's depending on the direction of the people who are using it. So because you can have all these tools out there, and some people use it to make kind of amazing stuff that touches you, and other people just make kind of no judgment, just to make things clicky bundy, just so. But so it depends on what you want to achieve, and if you want to present a story, and if you want to provide the chance to develop your own emotion to that, and so I don't think that the finger pointing on AI is fair to say, okay, this will change everything, because in the end we are using it, we are implementing it, so it's on us to do it in a way that we have benefit out of it, and not only see, oh, yeah. And I'm totally aware of the financial constraints, totally clear. So because some companies out there will go into pitches and say, okay, we can do it cheaper because we now use this AI tool. For sure, this will happen, and it's starting to happen. But in the end, it's on us to provide the emotional experience, and to keep this on the higher value.
Yeah. What I also understood is that we need to see AI as assisting our work, so not replacing. From your experience, Christopher, how do we learn that, or at what stage AI can assist in our like daily workflow? Because you are obviously using it quite frequently.
I don't know. I mean, I don't completely understand the question.
Okay, so you are using and applying AI.
Yeah.
So what would like be your recommendation to get in touch with AI and to learn more about those possibilities that it's bringing?
Okay. I don't know. Just be open to everything that comes in and be informed. I mean, it's helpful to check those platforms. I'm lucky. I have a very good friend. He's totally geeking out on all this stuff, and he's feeding me. He knows what I'm interested in, so he's kind of filtering. But you can also go on Reddit or wherever and find your information. And I think the important things, or the things that might work for you, they're anyways popping up. You know, like if you're on any of the social media platforms and you have a certain interest, you know they have AI already to figure out what you like, and they will show it to you, and then you just follow that path, and then just experiment. You know, try it out. If it's too complex for yourself, find someone. I think I saw already a job description for an AI prompter somewhere. Someone was looking for someone to type in the text to create stuff.
Yeah.
I think there will be people specialized that grow up with this technology, helping you to implement it wherever you need it. This will be a new job, for example, created, that there will be specialized, like now we have a network specialist, there will be an AI specialist, maybe even on every event, or even multiple of those.
Yeah, there's totally need for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
One point tip for that is Pinocchio. Just to give an open source tip, because it runs on PC, it runs on Mac, and it's a kind of platform where you can run locally all of the fancy new AI tools. So Pinocchio.computer or Pinocchio AI, just type it into Google. So if you want to try out the creative stuff, it works flawless almost. So, and it's great if you want just to check out, and yeah. So because most of the websites out there, you can do one creation, and after that, if you want to go deeper, they want money, and that's totally that's totally okay, because we all have to live. And if you want to run something locally, I'm using Pinocchio for that. So yeah.
Okay, so one takeaway tip, Pinocchio. Is there any question coming up here for the panel? Tobias, Christopher, with us. Any thoughts when listening to their experience? So feel free to give a sign with your hand, so then we could include that one. But yeah, I got the microphone. Danke, Jörg. Thanks, Jörg. Good teamwork here. Tobias, what are frequently asked questions when you are, for example, in a panel or on a daily basis?
I'm working on a project with a Swiss artist, and the typical question of the working with old libraries of paintings from old painters and drawings, and what's the right amount to start, the right amount of data to start with, and that's a typical questions that I am facing to say what is enough. So, and the naive answer from my side is there is not enough. Give me more. But things are changing, and you can fine-tune models to start to work and create your personalized stuff. Because what you've done with your pictures, this is where things are getting more interesting. Because just going out there to Midjourney and say create light installation. We will get something back, but that's
not good yet.
Not you. Huh? So, but when you are starting to fine tune and make it more personal and make it for your own inspiration, then it comes to the point to say how to collect and how to provide the data. This can be text, this can be audio, this can be 3D, and 3D is starting. I made a prototype this summer for that. It's totally it starts, and for audio and for video, and there are ways how to bring it and to make it yours. That's not there for 3D at the moment, but this will also come. And so to say, maybe to give advice, collect your own data, because your own data and have it in a kind of a vault or your pod or whatever is a good idea, because the models and the possibilities are changing. But to have your that's your own data should be your Schatz, your precious
treasure.
You know.
And it's IP rights.
And it's IP rights, totally. So I'm totally fan of to say use your own data with an external tool. But what's happening right now, and that's like every time with the big tech giants, when you're not paid for the product, you are the product, so your data is the product. So, and to maybe do the flip on that and to say, I'm aware of my data, and this will be the basis to use the tools in a way that has something to do with yourself and what you want to do. So, but this is, you ask for frequently asked questions. This is how can I work with that and provide my own data. So, yeah.
All right, thanks for sharing your expertise here on stage. Something you want to give to the audience to round it up, to go like with a very positive feeling out of this panel when we come to AI used for events.
Yeah, just be open and positive about it. And you know, there were these changes in the past. We always tend to forget about it. I still remember when I was studying in art school, I was in the film department, and it was still with analog film, part of it. You know, you could get a Bolex camera and film on 60 millimeter, and most of the older students did that. And I came in and was like, where? I mean, there's video cameras already. Why? That will be the future, and in the future, all movies, even the Hollywood movies, will be made digital. And everybody was like, nah, this is the highest quality, closest to how we see is on film, and so on. And now it's changed. Nothing is on film anymore. Mm-hmm. And this is a slow transition. Everybody can follow. It will not be overnight. It will not cut off what you're working, how your work is, and then tomorrow AI takes over. It's a slow enough process, I think, because it's actually human-made, that humans can adapt with it. And it will grow in the speed that humans can adapt and grow. So it will be a very natural transformation. The same thing is with the digital transformation, when now I can make an appointment digitally and get my passport digital and so on. This is a normal, natural transformation, and it will be the same with AI. if we look back on it in 10 years, we will laugh about what we were afraid of, because it will just be there. Like, the cell phone is in my pocket now, and as a kid I had a phone with a cord, you know, limited in range by 10 meters. So, you know, this will happen and this will change. And for everybody slow enough to follow and adapt, I'm sure.
All right. Yeah, so we have to feed you with lots of data, obviously. You can now have your lunch when we look to the clock. 1 hour of break, and we proceed at 2 o'clock. Now I switch to German back again. Bitte nochmal der Applaus hier für Christopher Bauder und Tobias Wursthorn auf der Bühne.